All right, it's here, boys. It's that DDF Podcast. We're back after our Week 7. Broken record still, but we still got a lot to go over. We got some more high-profile injuries, as always, it seems to be for this season. Most notably, it's going to be Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, both with the Bucs, both going down. And Baker, he's going to have to cook a little bit to save the season. Sorry, I had to.
You really do the hand movement when cooking?
Yeah, you do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, and the Browns season might have just been saved with Deshaun Watson going down for probably the season. Because I believe it was an Achilles tear or rupture or something like that.
It's a tear.
Yeah. And is the commish going to get a win this season after his only one in Week 2? I don't know.
Wow.
All this and more in this week's Desert Dynasty Football Podcast. Boys, how are we feeling after that Week 7?
Furious. Absolutely
For
furious.
those that are curious, our commissioner Justin lost by 0.8 points.
0.96.
Regardless, it is less than a point. I am not mad that I lost by that much. I'm mad I should have started a different tight end and then it would never have been in question. What I am particularly pissed off about is Marvin Harrison, who probably could not catch an STD in a whorehouse if he tried, because he probably had like the worst drop I've seen all year. When Kyler Murray threw a ball to him at chest height, he jumped, it hit him in the stomach, it fell to the ground, and then there was like an inexplicable fucking pass interference play that bailed out the Cardinals. It was completely ridiculous. But my main point is Marvin Harrison can suck my fucking dick, and he's benched until he can learn how to play the goddamn position, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's got the yips or something, dude. I don't understand it. It has to be mental, because he has shit for brains and fucking holes in his hands. He literally can't. He can't help you. And I'm kicking myself because I'm really considering the fact that I should have drafted Malik Neighbors instead, because of this complete and utter frustration that I'm having this year. It's absolutely ridiculous.
How many games has Marvin Harrison had over 12 points?
1,
2.
Two.
And they were calling him generational, immediate impact player, number one option for Arizona come Week 1.
I mean, he's probably going to be number one option for a lot of teams, but for some reason he just can't get it together. I don't know what his problem is. He runs routes, he gets wide open, and then if he doesn't get he'll be running wide open. So there's obviously some miscommunication with the quarterback on some of his routes. But then there's also ones that they literally showed replays last night of him just being disinterested in a route. Him just trotting up 4 yards, touching the corner, and then just turning around to see where the ball went instead of looking for the pass. So there's something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's too much of his dad begging him to be a diva instead of actually putting in the work in practice. But
practice?
It's something. It's something in his head, because he has all the physical tools. He's a 6'4" receiver. He's got a giant wingspan, and he comes from good stock. His dad could have probably told him how to catch a ball, but he was probably too busy murdering people at a fucking car wash. Look that shit up. He's a piece of shit.
I did not know that. And he's 22, and he comes from Ohio State. Ohio State is known for their offensive players coming out of college.
I mean, some of those receivers are thriving right now in the league. And all of those guys were saying yeah, Marvin Harrison's way better than me. He's the best guy on our team. Then he comes out and he doesn't look like he's a competent wide receiver 1. Honestly, I wouldn't even like him as a number 2 with as much as he drops the ball. It's a nightmare having him. But as I cautioned to Ryan last week, just tried choosing to bench Kyle Pitts, where he can't hurt you if he's on the bench. As long as you know he's on the bench, nothing he does can hurt me now. So he could go. He could get 35 points on the bench, and we're like, fine, good for you. Do it 2 weeks in a row, and you'll get back in my good graces.
There you go. I mean, that's honestly how you have to treat some of these wide receiver rookies. I mean, Malik Neighbors, for example. I mean, I'm gonna give him credit. He just came back from concussion, and Daniel Jones was playing like Daniel Jones.
I love how you call him
The
Danny
other day.
Jones now, but when he's good, you're like, Danny Dimes, baby, Danny Dimes.
Yeah, oh yeah. When Neighbors is putting up 20 points, Danny Dimes. When he's putting up 6, he's Daniel Jones. Especially with the fact that I believe he got subbed out in that game as well. So that just shows you how crappy the quarterback play was in that game. But
Subbed out because they're getting blown out, dude. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, Neighbors puts up another goose egg like that, in my opinion. It hurt having Sutton put up a 0, but I'd rather know what I'm getting from Sutton than sit Neighbors and hope.
But I think with those two examples, you can like at least rest easy knowing that Sutton has been the target leader in Denver all year. He just had a clunker of a game, and same thing with Neighbors.
Yeah,
first game after a fucking concussion, dude. Like, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, the Cardinals could have drafted any other wide receiver and have been better right now than Marvin Harrison, in my eyes.
Even Xavier Worthy,
Neighbors, Adunze, maybe.
That was never in the cards, man. Like, I did not mean that as a pun.
I see what you did there.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to.
Not in the cards, because Cardinal. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate puns, so that was not on purpose. But that was never the plan. Obviously, like, whoever the first receiver off the board was, it was more than likely going to be Marvin Harrison. It just happened to be the Cardinals that, like, actually got him. I was kind of hoping maybe that, like, I don't even know what the hell I was hoping for, to be honest. I don't know. I'm a broken man.
As we are learning throughout this season, we are seeing more and more broken Justin throughout each week right now.
I mean,
but
that's fine. The more I lose,
does
the
that
better
just
my
mean
pick is gonna be.
number 1 overall pick next season again?
I'm trying. I'm trying to come down there with you.
Hey, I'm right behind you. I'm 2-5 after this week.
Hey, guess who's number 1 in points against now? Me.
Oh,
People
really?
Yeah. Joe went over me now, so
that.
now people are beating the shit out of me. And I'm only like the second worst in points for.
Which I think is behind
You're
me.
third. You're third because you have Ryan, then
8th.
Nicky P's 70-something that he put up this week.
That probably helped a lot, yeah.
That helped a lot, yeah. Yeah, I have not been putting up points. I don't know.
But once again, let's take a look at Andy's 220 point difference between points for and points against.
I challenge.
And then let's take a look at yours, which is almost a 200 point difference between points against and points for.
Yeah, I've been taking it up the butt pretty regularly, man. Like, I don't have an issue going to number 2 anymore. But like, if you. And I challenge the rest of you bastards to actually put up a fight against Andy. I barely lost to his ass. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I tried. Okay.
I know you tried. You did the best you could. You came close.
I did not.
You did not.
Even if I put in my best players, I still would have lost, though, unfortunately.
What's funny is Scott is playing Andy next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, I lost by 50 points. I definitely did not try.
Yeah, but you're like...
Yeah, number 1 versus number 2 this week? Woof.
Yeah, game of the year that week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Because it's the 2 teams that can break 200 points pretty consistently this year.
I placed Kyle this week.
I don't care who I play. Doesn't matter.
I have Blake this week.
I think that means I play Matt. I think Scott told me that yesterday.
Yes, you do.
I still don't care.
Yep.
None of that matters to me. I'm going to lose, and I'm fine with it. But I'm just going to starting all the players that are bad.
Just do what I do and just say you're rebuilding.
I'm clearly rebuilding. there's a huge hole in one of my positions.
There's a huge hole in a lot of our positions that are on this podcast. The rest of the league, some of them are filled out pretty well.
Yeah, well, the products are still pretty valuable. And apparently, they come at a premium because if you don't have one, you're never going to get one.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
Yeah, it's...
Well, good luck trying to trade for one, too. Because, like you said, they're a premium, so those people that have a couple that can sit on the bench, they're keeping them on the bench because if their star gets hurt, they've got a backup now.
Well, you got to give up a lot to do it. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to give up a lot, or you're just shit out of luck. Which, I mean, with how this season is going, a star wide receiver going down is not unlikely right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That, like, the Bucks losing both of their receivers this week it's a
in the
travesty.
Same game. The same game.
Well, I mean, Evans was carrying an injury into this game, so
yeah.
Like,
then he got hurt like the drive before. If you watch it, he re-hurts himself the drive before, and then he probably shouldn't have been back out there for this one.
Yeah, well,
like, I think they pushed it a little too far and pulled that way too tight.
He's one of the best players. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
And if he said he's fine, he's fine. Like, it was not a big deal. Plus, he's not the one that's going to be out for the greater distance. Like, that's Godwin. Godwin, like, he got the cart of doom to take him off the field. Everybody knows that's not good.
I mean, there are some players where I'm like, if they get hurt, it's like, okay, whatever. But Chris Godwin going down after having the year he was having, I genuinely felt bad and hurt for him.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that was painful to see him go down because he was having an amazing year.
Yeah, he was. And on the opposite side of that coin, Brandon Ayuk, he also got injured, and he was having one of the worst seasons of his career.
But he got paid before he got injured. He was smart.
Yeah, but like those are always like incentive laced, so you don't know how much of that he's actually going to get. Yeah. Whatever is guaranteed is probably all he's going to get. But like now he's going to have to recover from. I think it was ACL and LCL. I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was ACL, MCL.
Okay, but
he took the hit. He took the hit like into the side of his knee, like the side and the front.
Gotcha.
That will be your ACL is on top. MCL is your medial or the inside. My one semester of athletic training is kicking in right now. But to go along with San Francisco, Debo is out for a little bit. He had pneumonia-like symptoms and was released from the hospital.
Was he finally released today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That shit was like, went from frustrating to kind of scary to back to frustrating because I saw before the game started on Sunday that said like he had an illness. Okay, that's kind of vague, but I understand it. If he's going to be held out of the game, totally, I get it. He's got cramps. He's bleeding out of the pee hole. Something, whatever might be happening. But the fact that it was like pneumonia, or pneumonia-like symptoms, or whatever the hell they were saying, and the fact that they let him play, and they downplayed whatever the hell was going on with his ass, that he got through doctors, and they let him out there to fucking play, and he had like a ton of fluid in his lungs and shit, like he was drowning basically.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's pretty much what pneumonia is, yeah.
Well, yeah, like, but what the fuck is going on with San Francisco's injury, or their like health and training staff, and why are they like
they're downplaying all these injuries?
Well, they're so negligent in like declaring these injuries too. For one, you're pissing off the bettors you're pissing off Las Vegas for setting the lines and shit, and you're gonna get like clipped doing that kind of shit, like. Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, you're messing with a lot of money when you do that.
Kyle Shanahan should walk with a limp
Because
just
there was
ahead
a
of time
lot
to
of
get used to
Deebo
it.
Samuel bets yesterday. Guarantee it.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
And now they're down like their top 2 receivers. I don't know how long Deebo's going to be out. Like that should probably
He
be like a week or
should
two.
be back this next week, but they might also have him wait. So I think they called it like day to day.
I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, no, San Francisco specifically has been frustrating this year. Started with Christian McCaffrey, when they're like, oh, he's maybe, oh, doubtful, oh, he's out until mid-November.
Yeah, going from questionable to out for more than half the season is criminal. It's borderline criminal to pull that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It was.
You're fucking with people's money. Like fantasy football is a big industry. Like we play for peanuts and mostly pride, but
Yeah.
some people play in huge leagues. And McCaffrey was like he was like a top 5 pick. So
He's a
people
top
took
5
him.
pick, MVP. He was up there for MVP talks,
For sure.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Exactly, and they take a guy like that, and then they eventually disclose that he's going to not play most of the year.
And
I mean, I was
like
frustrated
1 or
not
2
even
hours
having it.
before that week started.
Right. I mean, I barely have like any shares of him, but like if I had him in more than in one redraft league, I would be downright furious.
Definitely. And that leads into also the whole situation with Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Have they said anything when Brandon Ayuk went down? Did they say, oh, he might return?
No.
Or did they call them out like immediately?
No, yeah.
When he went
Okay.
down, like everybody kind of knew it.
Yeah,
Plus,
but
like,
that Debo was frustrating for anyone that was putting in anything for Debo.
For sure. And now it's going to be like Jawan Jennings when he gets healthy, and Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
We got George Kittle.
I mean, George Kittle's always there, but he was kind of banged up too.
And then you.
They tied in you, whatever.
Well, and that leads into
Next week.
some more injuries that have come up, which mentioned a little bit in the very
I
beginning.
just want to think. I know injuries are never good, and nobody ever wishes injuries upon anybody.
Not
But
true. I've
because-
done that plenty of times.
True.
That's just a nice thing to say. Like, and I have absolutely wished injuries on people.
But thankfully, since both of Tampa Bay's top wide receivers got hurt, and Rashad White caught not 1, but 2 touchdowns yesterday, I got paid $95 on my bet.
Hey, let's go.
I
Degenerate
took an
gambler.
outlandish pregame 2-touchdown Rashad White bet, and it didn't pay off until the fourth quarter. And on a payout note, I also got paid out $150 thanks to that Najee Harris 26-second left touchdown run in the Jets-Steelers game. That was the last leg I needed to finish that one off. So
Garbage time touchdown for the $150 win.
garbage time for $150.
And he probably should have done that. Like, he just should have ran the clock out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a great play. Couldn't have fucking scripted it any better. So, to let y'all know in advance, I will be doing this podcast from a different scenery next week. I will be flying back to Florida.
Why,
Nice.
because you won that much money?
Well, I found some tickets that were about $150 to fly Frontier round trip, and my sister's birthday is on the 30th, so I was like, well, maybe I'll go surprise her. So,
Gotcha.
spend a little time, and I got laid off from work, so I got nothing else to
Jesus
do. So,
fucking Christ.
They laid you off?
yeah.
I thought you were a manager.
Oh, I am. I'm
Well, you
looking
were.
at possible. I was. I'm looking at possible lawsuits. So
Okay.
That we can talk about outside of this.
yeah, we can talk about that this Sunday. I will be at Zips this Sunday for sure. So
Okay.
I
Goddamn.
will. That's a Zips trip I am definitely going to make now. And
Yeah,
instead of being
sure.
a soft maybe,
I
that's a
gotta hear
hard
this
yes.
story.
I will see you boys there.
yeah. So
And being an HR professional, I can help you.
yeah, that actually might come in handy to find out if I have any leg to stand on. So
Yeah, we can talk about that later. But on a different note, to get into a couple more injury stuff, Deshaun Watson with a ruptured Achilles.
Deshaun Watson just saved Cleveland's season.
Now, but is it late enough in the season where they don't care and they're just like, okay, we can get a better draft pick if we just kind of roll with it, or what do you guys think of that?
I think that it didn't matter when it happened, but every Browns fan on the planet was hoping that it would happen. Maybe not injury-wise, but that he would be removed as a starter.
Every Browns fan jumped for joy wherever they were at when that happened.
Well, apparently, they probably didn't air it or they were blocking it out on the live broadcast, but evidently the fans were, they were chanting, you deserve this.
Jesus.
As he was wheeled off the field. I'm one to call for injuries, but that's pretty low brow. You don't do that.
Yeah,
I know he's a shitty person, but come on, dude.
No, that's tough. That's tough for sure.
But also my roommate, who's a Browns fan, he's fucking good. I'm glad he's not with the quarterback anymore. I'm like, well,
good
on you, man. Hopefully you can actually.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Last year, that's how I felt about Trubisky when he got hurt. I was like, oh, thank God.
You're
not that our backup was any better. We're in the same position that Cleveland's in, but
you didn't.
I was like, thank God.
An $80 million contract guaranteed either. So.
Yeah, dumbasses.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be good.
But
hey, but to kind of talk a little bit about the Steelers making the change to Russell Wilson.
I was nervous. The first 2 drives made me very nervous, for sure. But then he started doing that moonball shit to George Pickens, and that apparently George Pickens loves moonballs because he was catching every single one of them.
Is that their new strategy now? Is run the ball occasionally with Najee and then just throw a big bomb to George Pickens?
Yeah, I think so. Najee still put up some good rush yards, so
you got your
Najee and Jalen both put up some decent numbers this week. The offense was finally clicking. I think it would be a nice 1-2 punch to see Fields and Wilson going back and forth. But obviously Wilson's more the pass approach. Fields is the more run approach. There was quite a few plays, and even the broadcasters were talking about it, where Fields would have just ran the ball, where Russell Wilson's trying to dump the ball off. So, we lose that mobility with it, but I wasn't disappointed in what I saw.
Those are the most points you guys scored in, 2 years?
Yeah, that's the most points we scored in a while, so...
it's hard to...
Offense looked like it was rolling on all cylinders. Defense was showing out. Beanie Bishop Jr., rookie, 2 interceptions on Aaron Rodgers. What a great day for that kid, man.
Yeah, well, I guess having Davante Adams wasn't the cure-all that the Jets were hoping for.
No. Well, they're going to play it as, it was a short week. He didn't get to learn the entire playbook. And even though during the game they were bragging about how Davante Adams knows 80% of this playbook, he's staring at Aaron Rodgers' house. And so,
that's all.
The Jets are the Jets.
Well,
basically.
Aaron Rodgers will be Aaron Rodgers, who's apparently an NFL cover boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with Cooper Kupp.
Oh,
that would be interesting.
No.
Oh.
They can't afford
the Jets go and grab Cooper Kupp?
No way.
Why wouldn't they?
Problem. Their problem's not receiver. Their problem is their fucking defense sucks, and their offensive line is terrible.
It is, but, they obviously didn't want to fix that issue, and they went and got Davante Adams, so why not just throw another receiver at the problem and see if we score enough points, who gives a shit how bad our defense is? We scored enough to outscore the other team.
Well, they can't.
Kind of have the Bills approach where we're just going to outscore you?
Yeah.
If possible, yeah.
Maybe. They have the running back in Breece Hall. They should have the receiving core in Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson.
And it's not like they're going to take that big of a hit on any cap space. Devontae Adams is signed 2 years through the Raiders.
Yeah. Well, and apparently the Rams came out, was it today or yesterday? That they're
that they're open to trading him. So
open to trading Cooper Kupp.
I mean, Shell Necklace isn't going to be happy about it, but
I'd be stoked. I have Puka. Like if he's the
I know,
only
but
game in
Puka
town,
said
are you
he's not
kidding
going to
me?
be happy about it.
I don't care.
Well, from a
The less
fantasy
time he
standpoint,
spends around fucking Cooper Kupp, the better. He got him hurt. Fuck him.
I mean, fantasy standpoint, it's great for Puka, but from a player and team standpoint, it's not so great. It's so getting into that a little bit. It's really interesting to have these conversations because us as fantasy owners are like, oh my god, please go trade him. Like for me, for example, DeAndre Hopkins going to Kansas City would be one of the best things to happen in my fantasy team. But but no one wants to see that because everyone hates the Chiefs, except unless you're from Kansas City.
True.
So, and speaking of that, Patrick Mahomes, did he even put up 150 passing yards this week?
I have no clue. He's sitting on my bench. I didn't even think twice about it.
Probably a good thing. I
respect
saw his stat line at one point.
154, 2 interceptions.
He is irrelevant from
39 rushing yards and a touchdown, though.
Woo.
Ooh, indeed.
8.98 points. 8.98.
Below average even for him.
Opposed to my wonderful, wonderful waiver wire pickup, Baker Mayfield at 28.6.
That's a
God, I
pickup.
can't believe he sat out there till like week 3.
That long.
Yeah, we all dropped the ball.
Whenever Tua got hurt is when I picked him up. So September 18th. What was that, week 2?
I think week 2.
Yeah.
And here I was thinking I was smart picking up Derek Carr after week 3. That's when it all went downhill.
The Saints were blowing people out, dude. That's not your fault. I don't know what happened to that team.
I have no idea. Then now he's out. He's still considered out. Not IR, not...
Hey, at least you can put him on the IR, though.
You can put him on the IR if it says out.
Oh, it's my IR is full.
Oh, okay.
Well, that sounds like a us problem.
It definitely is. And what's kind of sad is all 3 IRs are defensive players.
Oh, Jesus,
Get rid of
man,
them.
Come on. They don't need
Well,
to be on there.
Hold on, let's see who they are.
Alex Singleton, DeForest Buckner, and Christian Wilkins.
That's 2 defensive linemen, right?
Yeah, yes it is.
It sure is.
That's 2 5-pointers sitting on his IR spot
Not true.
when he's over here trying to worry about how to put a 20-pointer into the IR slot. Like, that's a no-brainer, buddy.
Well, to be fair, Derek Carr hasn't put up 20 points in
It's been a while.
4 weeks.
Yeah, since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, just about. But
I think I jinxed him. When I said, "Has he finally found his team?"
You know what? I
And
think that was
shook my
it.
head
think
no.
if I think if we go back and rewatch the podcast since then,
Yeah,
he's
and I
done
made
garbage.
a frowny face and said no.
yep.
Like, wait a minute.
It's
I know, I
just
sure
done
felt it.
garbage.
I definitely jinxed myself with Javonte Williams saying he hasn't done shit, and then here he goes off for 24.9.
That's unfortunate.
That was rough.
Yeah, but I mean, your statement's still valid. He hasn't done shit other than this one game. I mean, look at the rest of his stats. He still hasn't done shit.
It doesn't help he's splitting snaps with like Jaleel. Yeah.
And like Justin said, they can't hurt you if they're on the bench.
I'm telling you, man. It's going to be a very freeing feeling going forward. I can't wait to stare
Very
at this
freeing.
fucking-
And
oof. Oh, man.
And it would have been close. It would have been close if I played him. I might have won if I did, instead of Raheem Mostert.
Well, I mean,
See,
let's
that's what
not-
I like.
We don't have to dread like what ifs or whatever. Like,
Well, that's why I like this weekly report too. because you can go in and see, like, had I maxed out, I still would have lost. Okay, I can accept that defeat a little bit easier.
That's not always a good feeling.
Like
you could do your
Ryan,
best,
who'd
but
you
you were
play this
destined
week?
to lose. That still sucks.
I played Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's on a heater.
I'm surprised Kyle didn't play Kareem Hunt.
Had Kyle maxed out, you wouldn't have beat
Kyle
him.
doesn't need to.
No.
Yeah. So I always look at that and go, all right, I feel a little bit better about that loss.
None of that helps me.
Oh my
Look at it
gosh.
with great dread every week. I'm like, yeah, I lost.
No, because you would have maxed out higher than Andy.
Obviously, but I mean, like, I wasn't going to make those decisions. That's the
Yeah.
problem. But
Starting Njoku over Kelsey is always going to be a tough choice.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
not a decision
I thought-
any normal person would make.
I thought because Rashee Rice was out that they were going to be targeting him more. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now I know that I can't trust the Chiefs at all. I don't trust Patrick Mahomes. I can't trust Kelsey either. And, like, I guarantee by, like, towards the end of the year, they're all going to turn it on. And they're all going to be, like, lighting it up in terms of stats. When everybody's giving up on them.
I'm going to drop Mahomes in a couple weeks, and he's just going to light it up from the rest
You're
of the year.
not dropping Mahomes in Dynasty, you crazy bastard. I'll give you Drake May for him. Right now.
Right now.
That might almost be worth it. I mean,
That's actually not that bad.
I mean,
Mahomes has 7 years experience. He's getting older.
Then I can have
what was
Josh
his
Allen,
contract
Patrick
like?
Mahomes, and Caleb Williams on my team.
Man, if anyone looked at that and, like, from an NFL standpoint, be like, broken.
It's absurd.
But from a fantasy standpoint,
From a fantasy standpoint, it becomes Justin's nightmare, because then he has to decide which of the three he should start each week.
No, I don't. I know exactly who I would start every week. Josh Allen is the guy I would start every single week.
Josh Allen,
He has rushing ability,
Still?
dude. He has rushing ability. And if he has a bad matchup, I'm going to start Caleb because he's on a bad team that'll throw a lot.
Exactly, so you just have Mahomes just to have him.
you'd be that guy that would just pick
remember
up a player so
in
no one
This
else
Is the
can
End,
have him.
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like that. I have been
you
a
just
gimp
pick up
mask
a
on
player
chain.
just so no one else could have him.
Yeah,
You do it,
I'll hold him
Andy
hostage.
does. Yeah. Pick the players just to have them.
We'll see. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. But getting into that also, I wanted to jump in through the rest of the injury report here and see if there's anyone else of note.
It stopped the recording and restarted.
Oh, it's still saying recording on my side. Is everyone else okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You cut it.
Okay.
You cut out a little bit there, Nick. But I guess
Oh.
you're
I think
back
it was
now.
when you took a headphone out. But
Might have been.
some other injuries of note was Aiden O'Connell expecting to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And in order for the Raiders to have any sort of depth, they went and got Desmond Ridder. Juju Smith. Oh, I know, right? Juju got hurt in the first half, and he will most likely miss the game against Vegas. Who else is out there? Oh, Tyler Huntley went down.
How about let's talk about some of the returns from IR. We've got Puka and Kupp coming back.
Puka's he's probably a few more weeks out. I'm not really optimistic about that return.
Yeah, they activated his 21-day practice period or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they do once they come off of the IR designation. Yeah. But Kupp obviously coming back. But I think the biggest name coming off of IR is Tua. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you
I
guys
know
see
I got to
his press
figure out what I'm
conference?
going to do to make room for both of them.
I heard some bullet points. I didn't watch the press conference. I heard he was very defiant in not wearing the Guardian cap.
He sure was, and seeing that, I'm worried about his health yet again. Because when he was asked it wasn't like he thought about it. He was like, "Are you going to wear a Guardian cap?" Immediately, nope.
Nope. I don't want to be the concussion guy, even though he's.
I want to be known as
guy.
a CTE guy. And his reasoning was because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in this country, you gotta have to accept that as an answer.
Yeah, you guys gotta accept that answer, which respect his answer, but also, bro,
It's what nobody else on the planet would have done. No.
How many concussions has he had in 2 years? 3, 4?
4 or 5
A
or
lot.
something like that.
He's got 5 on record, I believe.
Yeah,
Right.
5 concussions in 2 years. That could kill someone.
3 of them in the same game.
It could potentially kill other people too in the future if you look up Chris Benoit and all those other stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Benoit. We won't dive into the Chris Benoit story. Those of you that want to look it up, go ahead and look up.
As the
Chris
kids
Benoit.
say, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a if you know sort of story.
For sure.
R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero.
I mean, it's steroids, man.
Yeah.
His heart turned to stone at the age of 36.
Yeah, 36. he was not young.
Yeah, that's frightening.
Oh gosh. But enough about these injuries. We went a little bit over some returns. It's getting close to that trade deadline, though. I think we said it was November 2nd, November 3rd.
It was right around the corner.
Yeah, coming up in the next week and a half, more or less.
Something to that effect.
So some names of note that have been thrown around.
Probably 2 weeks from today, I would think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But a couple names that have been kind of thrown around. We mentioned one already, was Cooper Kupp. Rams came out and said that they're open for trades. And Nick brought up possible Jets.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I would never even consider that.
It would be entertaining to see.
It wouldn't, because he would struggle on a bad team. Like, no,
He struggles on a bad team now.
he doesn't. He gets targeted like crazy.
He gets 20 targets a game.
Easily, dude.
And he's hurt every year. For his career, it would be a smart move for him. Less targets, less injuries.
Him, Stafford, and Aaron Donald should have retired after this Super Bowl win. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where other places are coming up. Because it's so
Hopkins
new, they're not really
potentially.
much
Hopkins
about
needs
it.
to move. Kupp is potentially up to move. There's probably, I think Kamara is probably a name that could potentially move.
I don't think he's going to move after signing a 2-year deal.
2 years is nothing, dude.
I know, but I don't think he moves this year.
Not this year, not this season. Alvin Kamara.
Because he just signed that contract. And then in 2 weeks, you're shipping him off. Like, who's going to want to pick up that
Jerry
cap
Jones.
space? That's true. But Jerry Jones doesn't like to help out his offense, so.
Jerry Jones doesn't know what planet he lives on. That's how far dementia he is.
Yeah. Remember, he's going to take our jobs for talking shit about him.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go
He
find.
can take
people.
my job. I mean, you don't even have a job to take.
Yeah, take it.
Take it.
I mean, you can have mine. I don't get paid that well.
He started early. He took mine early. That's what happened. Knew we were going to talk shit preemptively.
Yeah, he went out
Check
and
in on
called.
Blake. Blake was talking mad shit about him last week.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he
Blake,
couldn't make it.
Are you okay? Is your family okay?
Yeah, that's the family business. I don't know. I hope Blake's okay. He couldn't make it because of family. That sucks.
Well, I'm guessing it was probably just he had to take care of the. I mean, he's
Newborn. Yeah.
He's got a newborn, so.
It's not a newborn. That baby is like over a year old.
Well, it's
Treat it like a newborn. It's a baby.
It's
a
He's
baby.
a toddler. He's a toddler. I get it.
Some names are being thrown around for Cooper Kupp. Obviously, the Chiefs, because of course.
So it still wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense for them because Hopkins has been a big name for them.
I think Hopkins.
That
makes
still
a lot
doesn't
more
make sense either.
Hopkins doesn't make sense.
I mean, Hopkins makes a little more sense because Hopkins got maybe a couple years left. Cooper's got probably 4. But you're going to get Rice back next year. You're going to have Worthy. You're going to lose Kelsey probably at the end of this year, if not next year.
His
I love the
contract
predictions.
is next year.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like,
everybody's Everybody's
Kupp
kinda,
wouldn't make sense. Hopkins makes a little more sense, but Kupp wouldn't make sense to go to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not too high on the Chiefs taking Cooper Kupp. There is talks of maybe the Chargers going more or less just down the road to the LA Chargers.
I can
There's
see
also-
that. They need somebody over there with McConkey.
Yeah, the Chargers need someone out there.
I would say they do need
Pittsburgh
somebody,
is
but
also
they like
another
run
possible
the ball
name.
too much.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, that was the other one. The thing that I was reading said, yeah, they're just going to ship Deontay Johnson right back to Pittsburgh. I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
Ugh. Not a good idea. But there was
No.
talks of Cooper Kupp going there, though.
Maybe.
That was the other name that was mentioned in this.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean,
Of course.
we have Pickens, and that's about it. So,
Yeah, pretty much. We have Calvin Austin. That's about it.
yeah, Calvin Austin. Van Jefferson's over there. He caught a touchdown this
yeah.
last game.
I forgot about Van Jefferson.
So, I mean, we're throwing names like Calvin Austin and Van Jefferson out there. We're hurting.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Cooper already knows Van Jefferson, so hey.
yeah, that'll be a good link up. Even though Jefferson, I think, is wide receiver 4.
Hey.
I think
Good
Austin's
for
2,
symmetry.
but yeah.
Cohesion. It's all
Yeah,
about
but
cohesion.
you got to get Stafford to break up the breakfast party, the breakfast club, and I don't know if he'd be willing to do that.
Oh, here's
That's
an
another
article
thing
from
to talk about.
here's an article from Sports Illustrated though, saying Steelers get expected asking price for DeAndre Hopkins. This came out on the 19th, then saying it won't need to give up much for the Tennessee Titans star. I don't know if I would say star, but
He might not be a star now, but he was.
He
That
sure
man,
was.
I mean, yeah.
That man did a lot in his prime.
Oh, even with the Cardinals, he did a lot.
Well, that's what he was in his prime back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they got rid of him seemingly at the right time.
Yeah, that last year was probably one of his better years. But yeah, I mean, those are the two biggest names that I've heard. Is D-Hop and Cooper Kupp. Is there any other names you guys have been hearing around that might any big names that you might be seeing or hearing?
I'd probably keep an eye out on Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. I think those
Yeah.
two guys could potentially find somewhere else to play. I could see the Browns maybe making a move and trying to get another receiver, but I don't think that's very likely because they seem to be sellers more than buyers right now.
Yeah, the Browns are on a weird clearinghouse right now.
I mean,
I don't know.
They got rid of one dude, and they're down. Like Deshaun got hurt, so I mean that's whatever.
I
He's only
think
played-
Cooper.
Fun fact: he's only played 6 games in every season he's been there. By the way,
I think Cooper ends up in Tampa
Ooh. That's
with
a
these
gaunt-
injuries. They've got to overcome something. So either Hopkins or Kupp might end up in Tampa just because of the injuries.
Interesting.
just to replace Godwin.
Godwin and possibly Evans for however
Evans
long
is-
he'll be out.
Well, Evans isn't predicted to be out for that long, so I don't think that's completely necessary. I don't know.
Here's one I just thought of. That. So I'll get into what I saw online. It wasn't real, but I thought it was funny. What about the Saints?
Well, the Saints need to figure out what they're doing entirely first.
Well, I don't think that'll serve them very well. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, the Saints are going to be in cap hell next year, so they can't afford to take on Cooper Kupp.
That's a very good point. And just something that I thought was funny. I come to learn that it was not real, but someone came up with a press release that the New Orleans Saints was going to hold open tryouts because they were experiencing, I think it said over 40% of their roster was injured, and so they needed players.
That's movie stuff. They're not going to do that.
I thought it was funny because I'm like,
That happened in the 80s, and that will never happen again.
Or
yeah,
70s,
and it
yeah.
Or 70s, but it'll never happen again.
And it was when Philadelphia was one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah. But you can't believe anything you see online anymore. I saw something that said remembering Sylvester Stallone. I'm like, he's dead? What the fuck happened? And then I clicked on it and like, he's fine. He sons of bitches.
No, he's definitely still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, no one's gonna go out and sign Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, New Orleans fans. There was not open tryouts.
I wouldn't
he
sign
only
him to
played
play
3
Mark
seasons.
Wahlberg, man. I hate that dude. He's so terrible.
And Vince Papale only played 3 seasons anyways. He walked on and played 3 seasons.
Yep, for the Eagles, and I think was only special teams.
For the most
Oh, he's wide receiver.
Oh, he was a receiver.
He
played
was
special
listed
teams.
as a wide receiver, but he played special teams.
The special teams play that they show in the movie, like how it's so triumphant, and he picked it up and he ran like 50 yards or some bullshit like that. They
That
showed
was
the
his
real
only
play at
one.
the end of the movie, and he ran like 10 yards. He just barely picked up the fumble.
It wasn't even 10. It was like 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like,
in his entire
crock.
career, he only played 41 games, and he had 2 fumble recoveries. That was it.
And 1 for a touchdown.
No touchdowns.
That wasn't a touchdown?
He recovered.
No.
He recovered a fumble for a touchdown. He did. I've seen it.
Did he? Because it doesn't show that as a stat at all. But that might be his 1977 stat, which isn't available on this one.
Would they freeze it like juvenile records? What the hell is that about?
I don't know. It goes 1976 and then 1978, but at the bottom it shows that he played for 3 years.
They might not have called it a fumble recovery.
It might have been a block kick or something like that. But I mean, it's at any point. It was probably
Here we
Disney.
go.
Disney froze the records, and
Disney froze it.
I mean, I think they produced that
either
fucking
way.
movie, man. That movie
He
sucked.
caught 1 catch for 15 yards.
Let's go.
All right, we can stop talking about Vince
Anyways.
Papale now.
Anyway, sorry.
Vince Papale, you inspired so many people because an average Joe can play in the NFL.
We still talk about it.
We still do talk
I
about
don't.
it. We just
I didn't even. He never even entered my mind space until today. Thanks a
40
lot,
years
guys.
later, we still talk about walk-ons.
Ugh, I'll never fucking bring him up again.
But hey, Kurt Warner was bagging groceries before he got signed.
Kurt
he
Warner
went to the
is
A.
1,000 times better than Vince
Yeah.
Papale.
Yeah,
Warner's in the Hall of
that was a
Fame.
terrible comparison.
He
Terrible
orchestrated
comparison.
one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, you brought this upon yourself, Ryan. That was
Yeah.
a bad
Oh, I know.
comparison. That was a bad.
Terrible comparison, yes.
Torrey
Bad.
Holt, Isaac Bruce, greatest show on turf, Marshall Falk.
Yeah,
You're naming a lot of all-star.
he led the Cardinals to their only Super Bowl. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
give that man some credit.
Should have won it if not for a bad fucking roughing the passer play, but it's fine. Whatever.
Oh, don't get me started on when the Steelers stole
Or a interception that wasn't an interception on the last play. You know, there's a lot of.
Oh, that was a
plays
total
about that.
interception. I'm not. No. I'll give you guys that for 100%. Anquan Bolden ran the wrong route.
That definitely was.
Yeah, that was totally real. Fucking Antrell Roll blocking Larry Fitzgerald out of bounds so he couldn't make a tackle. On the other hand, that's some bullshit. But I mean, whatever. I'm not bitter about it. Old fucking players. God damn it.
Yeah. I could say a lot of stuff about the 2008, 2009 Super Bowl. It's the Seahawks versus Steelers. Yeah.
Hey, I couldn't find the most recent poll on Spotify.
Oh yes, the most recent poll on Spotify just had one. It was.
I tried to vote, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, let me get it. It was.
It should be
Let me
underneath
jump
the
over.
episode.
I was looking in the right place and I clicked away from it. So, the question was in this week's poll: who will be next injured on the commission's starting lineup?
I felt targeted.
And for some miracle, in the first week in the entire season, none of your players got hurt.
Because most of them were still hurt. So you can't get re-hurt
That's fair.
if you're not playing.
So I listed out Josh Allen, A-Chan, Justice Hill, Romeo Dobbs or Dubes or whatever, Christian Kirk, Justin Jefferson, or to leave a comment if you think there's anyone else.
I would have said Justin Jefferson is what I would have said.
How dare you?
I'm just being 100% honest with you. Wide receivers are a hot commodity, and they've been dropping left and right. I would have said Justin Jefferson.
You don't have to pick them
I know.
one.
Yeah, but let's be honest. It's always our number ones that go down. It's never the ones that sit on the bench for the entire year. It's the ones we were counting on.
My number 2 went down. That just proves your bullshit already.
Justin Jefferson went down earlier this year for an injury as well. Or a scare. An injury scare.
Half a minute.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua had his leg blown off, like in the war.
He was like a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, I think Bursasac is code for C4.
Pretty close. But the one vote that we had was for Devon Achane, who was healthy and split touches with Mostert. So that was great.
I voted for that. I thought Achane was doomed.
I think we all did, because he's in his second year, and he's had at least one injury every year. So
yep, so far. But as soon as Tua comes back, then that running game will get back on track because they don't put 8 in the box.
It's just how it works. So jumping over to our, we'll jump over to our comments now over on the Spotify side.
Tee-hee.
And so we had just our one. What song best represents your fantasy football team this year?
That's right. Because it's Spotify, and music should be related.
Spotify and music should be related.
Mine's Welcome to the Circus by Five Finger Death Punch.
Yours is a circus. That's very funny.
Yeah, because that's honestly how I feel. Some weeks I go in and I have confidence that I'm going to win, and I do what I did this week where I lose by 30 points. Other weeks I have massive confidence that I'm going to lose, and I win by 60 points. So it's a circus over here right now.
I'll accept that.
That is very acceptable and very understandable.
For sure.
I'm 3-4 and should not be with the third highest points for record. So it hurts to be number 5.
It is what it is, man. Just suck it up a deal.
Just keep living, keep working until the next week.
I believe my song is, my entire season right now, is going to be Free Fallin' by Tom Petty.
Hey.
Yeah, that was Justin's last year.
No, I called myself the Free Fallers. That was different.
Yeah,
I didn't
just
have
called
a theme
himself
song.
Free Fallers.
I wouldn't drag Tom Petty into this.
I definitely brought it. I thought about bringing John Mayer, but I don't need any more Taylor Swift in my life. So
yes, please. She is fine.
So yeah, I thoroughly feel like my season is going to be represented via Tom Petty and Free Fallin'.
I mean,
we're only going down from
choice.
here.
That's Americana, man. That's a good one to play. A couple songs actually floated through my head, but I did eventually land on one. I was going to say something to the effect of, well, Loser by Three Doors Down or something like that, but that just seemed too pathetic. What it actually should be is Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo. Because all my guys are fucking dead. Like, all my injuries are kicking my ass this year. And that is the most on-point thing that I could think of. Puka's dead. ETN's dead. Many to come.
What about Creep by Radiohead?
Nah, I'm not a creep.
You're a freak, you're a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
I don't have an existential crisis, man.
I don't know. You're having pretty close to an existential crisis.
I know where I am in the universe. It's nihilism. It's not existentialism. Nothing matters,
hey,
dude. Nothing matters.
Some people pay for that.
Everything I do is for nothing.
Hey,
Ooh, that's a great question on the YouTube channel.
Let's see.
Shout out to my coworker Clay for giving me those 2 questions.
Hey, tell Clay and his buddies to listen so we can get some more questions on here. Because
it's not a good listen,
out there. Well, to anyone else out there listening, invite your friends. Join the fun because we love interacting with people, checking out. This is what the last little bit of our show is for, is just to interact and answer whatever questions. And it doesn't have to be football related. We can just have fun with whatever.
No, just having fun. So you guys get to know us as people and how ridiculous we are. And that we can show some kind of emotion instead of just by the books statistics and analysis. We can actually just joke around and joke about fucking killing people at the end of the
or wishing injuries
apocalypse.
upon wishing injuries upon players. So
cleats to vaginas, like I said last week.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, continue on with that one.
Anywho,
if you could party with any two fictional characters, who would they be and what would you do?
Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark.
Ooh.
Not Iron Man and Batman. Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark.
Man, you would not be able to afford that meeting.
Well, that's why I'm saying they're paying for it. I'm tagging along. I'm hanging out. I'm not.
You mooch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I absolutely would. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So what are you guys doing? Like, are you on Shark Tank or something? Like, trying to get them to invest in something?
No, I'm just living I just want to live the billionaire lifestyle for a day.
You want to be a hanger?
I want to live the playboy philanthropist lifestyle for.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
You're gonna hang out with some dude with deep-rooted psychosis and an alcoholic.
That's fine. Do you see some of the chicks in the cars that they drive? That's fine.
Childhood
you whores.
I could only imagine the party. Look, this says if you could party with any two fictional characters.
I'll stop picking it apart. It'll be a kick-ass party. I'll admit that.
It would be a damn amazing party.
Yeah.
If you thought Great Gatsby threw some parties, imagine those two.
I'm just saying.
Two of the wealthiest people in all of DC and Marvel. You're pulling two comic book universes together. This is what breaks the wall.
This is what pisses off our viewers.
No way, man. We're breaking down walls. We're not about
okay.
We're about inclusion.
Oh, inclusion. That's right. See, no discrimination here.
Had enough of that bullshit this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, every 4 years. Election years, baby. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the
Justin, who you got?
Oh, fuck. It's fictional characters? That's what it says?
Yep. That's what somebody put.
I know. That's what I wrote on a whim. Let's see. Fictional. Who's someone with big jugs?
Jessica Rabbit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but she's married and she's into bestiality, so no thank you.
Yeah.
Jessica Rabbit and Lola Bunny.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not into that Lola Bunny thing, man. That's some weird furry stuff.
Hey, I'm just saying that had to be someone's first crush when they were growing up with Space Jam.
You do
100%.
Cross guys over.
Cinderella.
You
hang out with Cinderella?
Nah, I'm good. No.
Oh,
we're not pulling Disney princesses into this.
No, Disney princesses are too uptight, and they have daddy issues because they're not around.
Too uptight and they have daddy issues.
That's a fact, dude.
That is true.
Most of their fathers are dead, so they have issues.
Or they're trying to please them.
Like Jasmine and Belle, I think they had them, but that's besides the point.
Well, and then they're trying to please them, but
yeah, I suppose that's true.
Man.
I guess comic book is fun.
You could do Perfect Dark. What's the chick's name from Perfect Dark?
Joanna Dark.
Yeah.
No. I was just about to say that.
I'll probably jump into the anime side more than comics. Who do I want to hang out with in anime? I want to hang out with Yami from Black Clover.
Okay.
And Kana from Fairy Tail, because she drinks like crazy.
Yeah.
That's my nerdish thing.
I'll pull one anime character out of here from the 2024 release. Obviously, gotta grab Frieren.
Oh, she has no emotion.
I don't care if she doesn't have emotion. She can get me anything I want. Okay. She is the strongest, like, magical user in the entire show.
Okay. All right. I'll allow it. Who's
number 2? Oh, God. Do I want to go with another anime character, or do I want to grab, like, a cartoon?
Comics were very tempting for me. I wanted to think outside the box a little bit.
No, I might actually grab Gatsby because he is known for parties.
That's fair.
Like,
That's fair.
Give me Gatsby. Literally his entire thing is throwing crazy parties.
Yep.
That's fair.
So Gatsby and Freerin. To those that know, you'll know.
I'm going to surprise everybody with my next answer.
Oh, if you could fight one NFL player, who would it be?
It would have to be Chris Boswell.
The kicker?
Just because I think I could win that fight.
Is that the only reason? What did he do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, how old is Chris Boswell?
Just honestly, any kicker.
Older than him,
to be honest with you, I mean, he's one of the older ones out there for sure.
Only 33.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, hey, it's 2 years on me and probably in better shape, so he'll probably still kick my ass. But I feel like I'd have the best shot if I take the leg out. If I sweep the leg, Johnny, I'll be all right.
Nah, I got my answer, and it's purely because of a similar reason to that. Rodrigo Blankenship. I know I can beat him.
Yeah, Goggles.
Give me Goggles. I know I could take him.
That's hilarious.
Because he is. Hold on, I need to look him up. How tall is he? Height.
He's probably not even 6 foot.
No, if we're picking it because of anger, like I'm assuming the question was intended for is like if we had to pick one.
It could go any way. Like if you want to pick somebody who you legitimately think you can beat up, you can pick a retired player. Like you could beat up Bart Starr. I think he's dead.
I'd want to punch Terrell Suggs in the face over and over again. Not because I didn't think that he was an amazing athlete, but because of what he did against Pittsburgh over and over again. I hate him.
He's have a true hatred.
That's understandable. That's a rivalry.
Yeah.
That's a rivalry, right?
I will get the shit beat out of me by Terrell Suggs, but
oh my god, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's killed people.
I mean, I'm sure he'll flick me and I'll end up across the room. Yeah.
I think him and Ray Lewis both killed people.
Yeah.
Lewis,
on the field.
He was part of it. I don't think he was officially charged with it. I think they got him with
He was not officially charged with things. He would not have had the 18-year NFL career he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would.
Rest in peace, Ray Lewis's son.
His son died?
Oh yes.
Yeah, his son died. I think last year.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Ray Lewis Jr. Don't think that was his actual name, but.
So Ryan picked Goggles. Justin, who you got? This is gonna be some deep hatred right here.
This is deep hatred.
Dude, I hate so many players, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. I saw the eyes, and I'm like, this is going to be some deep. He's thinking on this one.
I mean, if I legitimately think I'm going to pick somebody that I can take, I'm probably going to, take a chance on somebody that's retired. For sure.
Yeah.
I would pick, I know a lot of backstories about some certain players and their criminal activities, so those are some of the dudes that I probably want to beat the shit out of. Which, that's the one that I'm going to actually pick, even though he could probably beat the shit out of me. I could probably beat up... I think I'd like to really beat up Tim Hasselbeck. He was just a talking head on ESPN for a long time, just shitting on the Cardinals. So, I could probably take him. But legitimately, the one dude that I would actually want to fight and beat the shit out of is Kellen Winslow Jr.
Oh, okay.
He's a criminal fuck.
Because I was just to say, if I remember right, he did some
very bad things to some to quite a few women. So, he's on my shit list. He should be on a lot of people's shit list. You can fight him. You can fight Darren Sharper, who's essentially the Bill Cosby of the NFL.
Eli Apple.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Eli Apple's.
I was gonna say Ben just because of the Super Bowl.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt kicked he kicked this lady in the face, and like nobody ever mentioned it again. They
Yeah.
crucified Ray Rice, and like
I was just going to say, Ray Rice was up there, too.
Ray Rice, like his a bad situation, but his like that woman ended up marrying him, so I mean, like I'll let them sort their shit out. Obviously, it's not. I'm not cool with it, but I mean that's their thing. I'm not even gonna go.
That's their life.
Like he was also punished, like he got like blackballed completely.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt Spartan kicked his girlfriend in the face, so I mean,
Yeah.
and he's still in the NFL. That's what's ridiculous about it. But nobody remembers it because it happened so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a piece
Well,
of shit.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
probably some
I think
current
that's a
players
good
I'll
way
beat the shit
to...
out of too.
That was a great question. Great
That's
question.
a great
I
way
always,
to
I
wrap this
definitely
all
always
up.
wanted to punch Richard Sherman in the face, but I mean that's
Yeah.
he for sure could have beaten me up.
I mean,
Vontaze
Don't be-
perfect. Vontaze perfect. I could punch in the face.
Oh, he would
I know I would lose,
But-
but
I need to send him a thank you gift for how many times he helped us advance in the playoffs because of his stupidity. So I'm torn on that one.
Tazy.
Yeah. I
It's
knew
a-
every time we faced Cincinnati in the playoffs we were going to win because Burfict played way too competitive.
it wasn't competitive. He played way too dangerous.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, he's a cheating son of a bitch.
Yeah.
No, he went out to hurt people. He didn't go out there to make tackles. Or make
No, he would have done good on Sean Payton's team.
I was just about to say, he would have been amazing. He would have gotten so many
Ooh.
bounties.
He'd have got paid.
Sean Payton's a good. Well, he's not a player. Fuck, that was a good one.
Did he? But did
Was he? Was he? Can we categorize him as a retired player and punch him
I mean,
in
he
the face
probably
anyways?
did play, but that's probably a good question.
Hold on. I'm
Like
where's
Blake would
this
say
link?
Jerry Jones, like because he played in college.
Yeah.
Hey, we can take Jerry Jones. We know we could take him. All we have to do is
If they played in the NFL, they retired, all right?
That's fair.
all it takes is a strong gust of wind to knock that guy over. Sean Payton tried out for the Kansas City Chiefs. He played quarterback for Chicago Bruisers and Pittsburgh Gladiators during the Arena Football League.
So, no.
That's
Before his rights were sold for $1,000 to the Ottawa Rough Riders of the Canadian Football League.
Hell yeah,
Tommy
man,
went played in the CFL. Nice.
Go for the Grey Cup.
He actually was a member of the Chicago Bears during the 1987 players' strike known as the Spare Bears.
Oh, that's right. He was a scab. I forgot he
Oh.
was
He
a
was
scab
a
quarterback.
So he's counted as a retired player. You can punch him in the
Technically
face.
a retired player.
I'd happily punch
Punch
him
him.
in the face.
Punch him in the face.
Oh, I
You've
could
been
take
getting
him for
clearance
sure.
to attack Sean Payton, and now the FBI is going to come out as for making threats against
Threats
NFL
against-
players and coaches.
I
my
These
could.
are
God.
not threats in any which way, shape, or form. These are not intended for any future harm or future purposes.
All I said is I could and I wanted to. I
Yeah.
never said that I would. I don't
Yep.
think.
I don't think
Check
you
the
ever
pro-
said you would. You
check
said you
the tape
wanted
on
to
that.
a lot.
Check the
For sure.
check the tape.
A lot. I would wish for
Check
it
the
on a
tape.
birthday if I could.
Leave in the comments if Justin ever said he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave in the comments who you think you could beat up in the NFL. No referees.
In the comments, just let us know who you think you could take.
I got a
Oh.
4-hour
Drive,
flight
Land Clark,
Monday at
and
11.
Clete
So
Blakeman. Like, what's that?
I said I got a 4-hour flight 11 a.m. Monday or 11 p.m. Monday. I'll download this podcast and I'll let you know if you said.
I
So
know it
if
kills
anyone
an
doesn't
hour,
comment, we
man.
at least have some sort of verification. Okay, but we'll wrap it up here, boys. It's been a fun one. We will see everyone else out there. I always do this little bit of closing, but if you want to hear from, if we'd love to hear from you guys, we want to interact with you. Leave us a comment either on Spotify if you're listening, or on YouTube if you somehow found us and want to watch us too. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if Justin ever had an actual threat that I need to edit out, and I will gladly go back and fix it. But or if
Out
you
of shape.
wanted to,
I will never be able to take any of these guys, man. I'm horribly out of
no,
shape.
we definitely
You only see this much of
even
me.
even
The rest is
Rodrigo
a mess.
Blankenship, I think we would lose because of his legs specifically.
Kicking
But
ass international style.
Yeah.
or if you have a long form, if you want us to look over anything too, or maybe you want us to review your fantasy team. I just had that idea.
Questions,
shoot us
comments,
an email.
cease and desist, all of the above.
All that stuff.
Yep.
You can always shoot us an email to that desertdynastyfootball@gmail.com if you want us to review and see if there's maybe something we could help you with on your fantasy team. We're getting close to midway of the season, but we will have a Halloween little themed episode next week because it'll be a couple days before Halloween.
Okay.
But everyone else out there, have fun, be safe, and we will see you next week for Week 8.